Welcome.
Yo, if you can't rock out to the interest music on a
Yo,
show that you doing, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
yes, I
Hardest beat in
was
the game.
getting very excited. Yes, Matt, you
Mhm.
are the first in the club. Hey, Seindole.
Okay, I'm shiny. What the
Hey,
hell?
Wow, she
Matt.
Oh,
friend slid into the club. Goddamn.
shining, shining,
I
Mhm.
love it.
shining.
Hey, Rakasha.
Knocked over the bouncers.
I love that there are already some VIPs in the building for tonight's fan club. We are talking about women of the Elimination Chamber.
Hmm.
Welcome, everyone. Hey, crew. So, the Elimination Chamber is interesting because there are not a lot of them. I think this might be what, the fifth or sixth one? So the women really haven't had that many. So it's really fun to go back and look because each one is kind of making its own history. So we'll get into that. But first, of course, I want to welcome everyone back. But I also want to do you know, some announcements tonight. So,
Hmm.
at 8 o'clock, we do watch AEW as a family. So, don't, when 8 o'clock comes on, keep us on because we're going to be chopping it up about that as well. I hear there are two women's matches. So, that's huge. Should definitely get an applause on that one.
Hmm.
So, we definitely.
Let me do the Mariah May applause on that.
I love it. I love
I
it.
like it.
So we'll be talking about that. But you can get a lot of the TWG network outside of Wednesday Night Fan Club. Seindole did another Watch What Happens NXT last night. She
Yes,
had a
yes,
very
yes.
special guest.
Yes, yes, yes.
That was a
I was on with Joshua Gersh, whom is just as live Twitter finger trigger ready as I am when it comes to NXT. So I
love
brought
it.
him onto the show. We brought up a lot of interesting things. We had a really good conversation,
Mhm.
pointing out a lot of things going forward. And it's funny because some of those things that we did talk about actually ended up happening on the show and it's progressing in that direction. Plus, he's just a sweetheart to me. Like, he's just
Yes, he is
funny.
very nice.
He's very nice. So if you have a chance, the live stream is on TWG. We did stream from YouTube and X, and I will be reposting every episode on Saturdays. So
Love
in
it.
case you missed it, you can go on my YouTube channel and it'll be live and for all the replaying to see. We stopped More Than Death for Trick Mellow Game for those who asked, but we're not calling it, Trick Mellow Game no more. So
Ooh.
yeah, we got to figure it out. I also started a Twitch channel.
Oh, yay!
Nice.
So
It's only right. It's only
it's
right.
only right. So, but yesterday, great conversation on what happens NXT. Already planning stand deliver pre-show. So I
Great.
can't wait for everybody to see who I have for that because that's gonna be exciting.
Yay! I think I wanna be on that
Oh,
because
you
the pay-per-view ones be so fun.
you already tapped in. Don't even worry
Cool,
about it. It was
cool,
just gonna
cool.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
a melee though. Just so you know, the people that I
okay.
got coming on are the
I
people
love it.
that we normally are accustomed to. So you ain't
Okay,
gotta worry about no newbies.
I'm excited for that.
But it's just gonna be crazy. That's all. Might be
Yes.
collision type shit at this
Yeah.
point.
So make sure you are following Seindole on Twitch. You are subscribing to her YouTube channel and tuning in to Watch What Happens NXT, one of the most fun NXT pre-shows out there. So we also have a TWG episode out with Chrissy Love, but we are going to be recording with a special guest that I cannot wait for this episode to drop. I will give you a hint. No, I'm not going to give you a hint. I changed my mind. I'm
I
gonna
think you
just
should keep it a
Jeez.
secret.
I'm gonna just let yes, I'm gonna let you guess for sure. But you can see replays of the fan club on YouTube, but there are also episodes of where WWE meets pop culture. We get into that intersection of wrestling and the mainstream, and it's a really fun
Mhm.
show. That new episode is loading, so watch out for that. Hit that bell for notifications. I never thought I would be that person, but because it's not on a strict schedule, I really want you guys to get this show as soon as it comes out because it's news, it's buzzy. So it's like you
Mhm.
kind of want to get in and you want to get all the tea. So make sure you check that out. We have so much going on. So follow us, subscribe to us. So I would like to kind of jump into things. So how about we take a very quick break? I want everyone in the club to talk about some of their favorite Elimination Chamber moments for the women, some of the biggest moments, most memorable moments that stand out when you think back of that chamber. It's everyone talks about how destructive it actually is, like even more so now than like the Hell in a Cell and everything. Like they're like, no, that shit hurts. You be like,
Yeah.
let me not, you know. So it's a very interesting structure. It's a very interesting match. I always felt like Royal Rumble overshadowed the Elimination Chamber because it's like right after, but then it also has the same stipulations for the most part. It's usually the winner of that face goes to WrestleMania as well. But it's not like regarded the same way. So I always felt that, and it's a very unique match that like works. Like I've never like heard any like negative feedback about that particular, I guess, gimmick match. So I'm excited to get into the winners, what we hope to see. The time it was in what's that country? Saudi Arabia. Like there are so many moments that we can talk about. So let's take a quick break and we'll get all into Chamber.
It's gonna be really, really quick.
It's gonna be good.
Over on the far right, there you go.
Hi, Rhea. Congratulations. I'm Queen P.R. of Those Wrestling Girls. How do you plan to celebrate with the Judgment Day on your victory tonight?
I don't think I can say that on camera. I mean, the Judgment Day, we get pretty wild when we party, you know. There's a lot of things that go down, and I might get in trouble if I say anything, but there's definitely going to be a good old Judgment Day party. Dom Dom's going to get rowdy, Priest is definitely going to get rowdy, and Finn Balor's going to get rowdy, so, and I'm going to celebrate, I don't care.
They're still together too.
They are. I love that. I love that because my voice is hoarse because I just came from Royal Rumble. So I'm literally like, I can't breathe. But speaking of, Matt did ask us, speaking of Australia, if we are going to be waking up 5 a.m. on Saturday. I am going to try my very best because I do want to watch that live. And I'm off. So we will definitely see what happens. Okay, I love that we are already getting some moments in the comments. Hey, Issa.
Issa.
Good to see you, babe. What's some of your favorite women's matches in the chamber? Some
I was
moments
wondering, was
that
she
stood
over
out to
there?
you. Ooh, are you in
Issa,
Australia?
is she in Perth?
Right, because she everywhere. She's legit international.
Yeah, right to be international. If she's in Perth, let me see a picture of you in the kangaroo.
No,
See if the motherfuckers have butt for real.
Y'all be talking about kangaroos like they friendly. I'm not going
I
there.
feel like they the ones that punch you.
Right.
Oh yeah, I saw wrestlers talking about 22-hour flights. Imagine doing a 22-hour flight and then having to do like media and shit. Like just grasp that work schedule. Like I can't even imagine. But let's give Issa her flowers for being international and doing her thing. So let's get into Elimination Chamber. It was announced for 2018, the same as the first Women's Royal Rumble. What were your first reactions? Were you like, finally? Were you surprised? What were some of your initial reactions?
I was like happy. I was very happy about it. Somebody, loving women's wrestling. I always wanted them to have the same opportunities on the mainstream, on the big platforms, right? Because if you obviously you keep up with the indies, you see they get in ladder matches and cage matches and everything. So being able to watch them have this chamber match, I was really excited for it. Because I also knew that it would just keep evolving and getting better. So that was my first reaction.
See, at least you're positive. I was mean. I was like, someone, for the love of God, get this fucking belt off Alexa Bliss. Because I did not like this title reign. This felt very shoehorned. This felt very the favorite of Mr. Redacted. And this was at a time where Sasha and Bailey were really hot. They were kind of splitting. They were going to counseling and all that stuff. And people were really in tune with this. But at the same time, there was also a contingent of fans that were really like, yo, we want to see Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania and stuff like that. I wasn't one of those. It took me a long time to come around on Alexa Bliss. I was like, please get this shit off of her because I want to see this other match, this dream match that we all want over Alexa. And it wasn't the character, it was the in-ring stuff because it's like, all right, she's great on the mic. She has a fantastic character. Then that bell rings and it's just like, this is about as bland as a potato salad. But so I was a little bit more of like, all right, cool. This is a stacked 2018 Women's Chamber. You got Sasha, you got Bailey, you got Hall of Famer Mickie James, you got Sonya and Mandy trying to make a name. Someone get that title off that woman.
Seindole, do you remember when you first learned that the women were getting an Elimination Chamber match?
You muted.
I do. I was saying first thing in my mind was badass.
Cause that match is no joke.
And then I remember like how they were basically stacking it like they were gonna take it away from Alexa Bliss. And it was the first time I remember Alexa Bliss being actually worried about losing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did notice that. Okay, so let's get into the very first women's chamber match because I recently watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with you, Justin. Like, I wanted anyone but Alexa to win this match. And I wasn't even invested in any other particular person at that time winning. I just wanted it off of Alexa. And when it came down to, and that's the time where I felt like Sasha was always just like right there, like always the final two of something, but never the winner. And I was one of those, they were the last two, and it was looking fucking good. And then, and honestly, this really attests to like my emotion watching that finish, really just attests to like how good both of them are, because it was looking like it was Sasha, and then she climbs up on the second belt, and then she hits her head on the, like Alexa pushes her, she hits her head on the chamber, and then rolls her up. And then it's like, okay, like it's a good finish, but it just enraged me. I was just like, oh my God, how did she? And then she cuts this fucking heel promo that now I appreciate very much. But at the time, I was like,
I'm with Matt. Like Sasha, I've never been too pissed at Sasha for anything. I was like, bitch, why you kick Bailey? Like you just proving that you in for yourself. And then I give it a shot. That's the first time I realized that like, yo, Bailey's like a workhorse because she was last in that match. I think she went in there injured.
Mm-hmm.
She was like lasting.
She was going through like a shoulder injury curse at one point.
Yeah.
Sasha pissed me off. I was like, bitch, now you done pissed me off. Like, how you just kick her like that? And mind you, she was helping her not even 9, I want to say 85% of the way in that match. But you know, Sasha.
Yep. That's her. And
that's
you're
the
right,
boss taking all the work.
She definitely is a natural heel. But I could have seen Bailey taking it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was all the way for that. But I gotta be honest, it was more the experience of the women getting it and it being as physical as it was. Because what's crazy about these matches, because and I even like the Money in the Bank match, like because the ladies have so much to prove, it's almost like they go overboard with the spots. Because now you have to be different. Now you have to prove that you're not gonna take it easy because you guys are women. You're gonna do the same thing. Like I'm sure you guys have heard like instances where the women had spots planned, but the men didn't want it to overshine their spots, and they had to change.
Yeah, matches. they were still going through that.
Yeah. So I think they go out there, and I'm just seeing like Sasha taking these like certain bumps, and I'm just like, oh my God, like it's crazy. But they brought it though.
No, they did. They definitely did. And I thought it set a great tone for what we would get, you know. And like you said earlier, just the storytelling. I understood where Justin was coming from because I definitely wanted to see Sasha Bailey for the title at WrestleMania. But I'm going to give Alexa Bliss some credit. She didn't disappoint, you know, going into that feud with Nia Jax. It was still memorable. One of the things that I thought was very important for, you know, young women out there who would become Nia Jax fans. I thought that was a That was one of those times where wrestling teaches you life lessons. And so I thought it was important looking back as like, okay, I can see why the belt stayed on Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss doesn't. Alexa Bliss, Justin,
It's not being
you're not
mean.
seeing it.
No, because
It's not
I'm with
being
you.
mean.
I'm
And
with
Brian makes
you.
a valid point because at that time they were also heavily invested in Nia Jax. They were telling the story of like bullying and fat shaming and stuff like that. And people did want to see Alexa get her comeuppance because this was by the time she goes into WrestleMania, I think she was champion for at least 8 months because she gets that title right back off of Sasha the week after SummerSlam. So about 7-8 month title reign of Alexa. People wanted someone different. Nia was something different. It was just a matter of I was at that WrestleMania. That was my first WrestleMania. There was so much more energy and people invested in Sasha Bailey versus that match. So it was kind of like, I hear what you're saying, Brian, but being there live, it's kind of like we really wanted this title match on those people, not this. We could care less about this, to be honest. But it was a cool moment.
It was. I do want to shout out Mickie James because she was also in that match. She had a pretty high spot on there.
She was like Alexa's like muscle, right? At that time.
She was. And
it was like a tag. It had like a tag team feel because it was Alexa was banking on Mickie. I think Mandy and Sonya were kind of like, listen, it's either me or you. And then you kind of thought that Sasha and Bailey were on the same page, but people still had it in the back of their head that, like, listen, Sasha, when Sasha going to be really teaming up with somebody to really do something good? And then she kind of proved it by kicking. I don't know. I mean, I'm salty about the kick in the head, but then she kind of proved it by kicking homegirl off I said, you know what? That's why you always prepare for a dog. That's why you always prepare for a dog to drop their poo on the ground. You never expect for the dog to just walk because that's type of stuff to be happening. And they surprise you and just be. That's what happened.
But see, that's what you call a memorable feud because sometimes you know you have those memorable turns, them heel turns or whatever that make you mad. I mean, I'm still mad about Owen Hart kicking Bret Hart's leg out of his leg at the 94 Royal Rumble.
I just watched a clip of that too. Me and my late night when I was working overnight last week, trying not to fall asleep. I watched it on late night. I said, "Oh yeah, Sean, I forgot. Listen, we're gonna have a discussion, me and you, and probably another fan club about Sean, but because he was a whole different animal." Oh, and that was one of the moments. That was a whole different animal, but it was a good moment. You gotta admit, Brian, even though it was kind of messed up.
Yeah, it was you gotta just admit, yeah, be in our films, but it was kind of good. I'm just throwing that out there.
Nah,
just a little bit.
Okay, so I want to drop a fun fact. Well, I don't know if it's a fun fact; it's probably obvious. But which women have been in the chamber for the most matches?
Why do I want to just yell out Shayna Baszler just because, and that could totally be wrong? No, it can't be. It's got to be Natalya, right?
Liv Morgan.
Oh shit!
I was just gonna say I was just gonna say Liv Morgan.
Elimination Chamber matches.
You said how many?
4.
Oh, 4. Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's been 6 women, right?
She is the queen of the chamber.
She wasn't in the first one. That's the only one I think.
She wasn't in the first one, but she was in everyone since then. And everyone else have done 2 or 1. Shayna has the most eliminations at 5.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. She nerfed everybody.
I have to rewatch that one because it just felt like because it felt like all of the energy just drained out of me, like a balloon, like inflating. Like it was just it gave off like waste of opportunity. Like I get that you want to build her up because you know how in some moments in hindsight you're like, okay, it worked, but like it didn't build up Shayna to what I thought she would be. Even after all of that.
That was the one. Wait, was that the one where she bit homegirl? Where she bit Becky?
No,
that's for the time frame. Maybe
that's around that time frame. But that Elimination Chamber was a Shayna demolition. She dominates everybody. But that was the point, because you got to remember, this is the man, Becky Lynch. When Becky Lynch wasn't losing to fucking anybody, she was beating everyone. She was going over on every feud. We talk about Charlotte booking that entire year. Becky, I don't think she lost once she got that title. No, she lost one time
Yeah.
that I remember, and that was to lose one of the titles to Charlotte, and then Charlotte got cashed in on Bayley in that Money in the Bank. But for that year stretch, Becky rarely lost. So you really needed to build someone up to be on her stature, because she was running through everyone. Even when Sasha came back, she ran through Sasha too, even though one of those matches was a DQ. So with Shayna, it was like, it was unfortunate, because it's like the rest of y'all just food for Shayna, but it was necessary, because going into that WrestleMania match, we finally found an equal to Becky Lynch at that time. It was just a matter of, once Shayna lost that match, all that steam went away, because it's like, we did all this for what? For you to still take an L and Becky still like the unstoppable freight train?
Well, that's the thing, right? I felt that it was just like, sometimes when you got somebody who's just really hot, it's like the hot hand in basketball. When Steph Curry during that time was on, you could put all the fingers in his face and he wasn't missing. And that's what I saw from Shayna Baszler, especially considering how dominant she was as the NXT Women's Champion. So I enjoyed that Elimination Chamber match, because I was like, okay, now we're gonna get a fresh champion at WrestleMania, because it was almost like you could like, okay, it's obvious she's gonna win, right? So I will say that's one of the things I'm really excited about Becky's book, because
Heard to talk about it.
Yeah, because like what I learned on WWE Meets Pop Culture is that Mick Foley called this the most important book in the modern era. Did I get that right?
In the last 10 years, the best wrestling book in the last 10 years, which is a wild statement.
And people and Mick Foley is a journalist. He's not just somebody who just wrote a wrestling book. Like, you reading his book, Have a Nice Day, you learn he went and studied journalism. So him putting that stamp, I'm like all ears. So I'm interested to hear what Becky has to say about that match or that feud, because I'm thinking like, like one of the things in the Yes book you learn that it wasn't it wasn't a plan. WWE really wanted to give Daniel Bryan Sheamus for the third out of 4 straight years for WrestleMania 30 instead of in the Yes movement. So like learning about that. So I'm wondering, will Becky talk about, we heard rumors that she wanted to drop the title to Shayna and all that stuff. But I definitely understand like why you didn't like it, but I loved it, because it was like, okay, now we got dominant Shayna. It also showed that, coming to the main roster, it wasn't like a reset sometimes. And, like we're seeing this with Tiffany Stratton now. It's not like, okay, you all right, for instance, on the we got NCAA football getting ready to come out, right? So when you create a player and say like Reggie Bush back on NCAA 04 was a 99, right? Then you graduate him to Madden, the highest he's going to start off is like an 84, because now he's in the pros. So NXT sometimes did feel like certain wrestlers, I'll say like Johnny Gargano, right? NXT champion, but he ain't challenging for the world title. Same with Keith Lee. Sorry, I know P got the shirt on, but
I love that shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
But with Shayna, it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like, okay, now you're in the big leagues, quote unquote. You got to step back a little bit. It's like, same with Asuka. It felt like she was on the same level with Asuka.
Right.
You know what's interesting about this comment that Ricardra said? Knowing what we know now, Shayna should have won this match. She should have, but I'm not mad at the way that they did it, which is weird and it's sacrilegious, because it's like Shayna should have won this. But at the same time, think about this. This is the pandemic. Becky eventually goes away because of the pregnancy. Asuka wins Money in the Bank. She therefore wins the title by proxy. We end up getting a summer feud of Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors against the Golden Role Model, Sasha and Bayley, which we talked about on previous fan club episodes, and how important that feud of Sasha and Bayley, the 2-woman power trip and going for all the titles was. And we finally got a dream feud in Sasha versus Asuka. That doesn't happen if Shayna Baszler is your champion and wins that title at WrestleMania 36. So it's kind of like she should have won, but I was like, kind of happy she didn't because then we don't get that. And that was way more important come summertime and the fall.
You might still could though.
You still could get it though.
Because if we're talking Money in the Bank,
yeah,
you can and also if Shayna's failing as champion, you know, kind of like what Braun Strowman was doing. You know, if
why
we being
Braun
honest,
gotta catch a stray?
because Miz and Morrison had to carry him through his title run the whole time.
Because Braun deserves the strays. That title run was a 2-pack of
I
ass.
legit would forget who was champion.
Talk about it.
And then he would come out with the belt, and I'll be like, "Oh!"
And that was old Braun.
So that's old Braun.
Yeah, we like new.
I
Braun.
like new Braun. I love new Braun.
But I like I understand exactly what you're saying, Justin. And it's always fun to kind of fantasy book this stuff a little bit. I still think you have Asuka win the Money in the Bank and essentially cash in traditionally, and then Shayna does what she ended up doing. Maybe she could take a step back. It wouldn't have hurt her too much. You could have had all of them in the mix. You could have even put her with who were her eventual tag partner. But I know we gotta get back to Elimination Chamber.
No, there's so many ways you could have booked that era because of everything that was going on. Like there's so many circumstances, injuries, and all of that. So that could even be a whole fucking fan club itself.
I think
Justin,
people will want it.
What?
In the notes, pandemic era fan club.
Ooh.
That's going to be like a multiple parter. So I want to get into the second women's Elimination Chamber match in 2019. But before then, I want to get into some of these moments that were in the comments. So Keith, so this is a moment that lives rent free in my mind. So Shawn Michaels with the Doodoo Brown Pants winning the world title in 2003. I know it's about the women, but this is a very memorable chamber match because correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the first one or the first one? And when I got back into consuming wrestling content and I came across this match, seeing Shawn Michaels in them brown pants just felt so uncomfortable. I was like, why? I was like,
Shawn.
Why? Like I can't even watch the match for too long. Like I don't know what it is. Like some things just don't. He's even spoken on it because it's just like, no, some things just don't fit you. No.
You didn't say his gear wasn't ready or something.
Something like that. I don't even think he was supposed to do as much as he did when he came back in the run of
right.
So yeah,
it was a moment though. I remember being excited that he won the title, but it's like, dude, we really got the photos. Like, think wrestlers, photo ops. Shout out to Jay Bougie who pays so much attention to every detail because this little stuff like that is like, okay, big match. I got to make sure I got on the best gear, best hairstyle, best boots, etc. Seth Rollins did it this year when he won the world. Well, last year when he won the world heavyweight title.
You're so right. So
he's got some shitty pants. It looked like broken and it's broken.
Oh my god, no, I'm not gonna even start thinking about it. Like, why did you do that to Shawn? Out of all the things that he's done, I think that might be the worst.
The term doodoo brown got a whole different meaning after them damn pants.
Not the worst. Hold up. Wait.
That's how strong I feel about it.
Over November 1997.
Oh, well, I mean that.
Wait, November. Wait,
that's never Trump.
Wait,
that's
back off. I'm lost. November. Now you gonna
1997.
The screw job.
I'm about to say, Seindole, we talk about this for like 25 years.
I told y'all I'm out.
I didn't expect 25 years.
We're gonna have to celebrate. I feel like we celebrate the anniversary, the birthday, the reincarnation of the screw job. Like, come on, like.
Even Brett is over it.
She says it's the worst thing. I'm like, no.
I was exaggerating, but not exaggerating.
That's how you can tell.
Brett be over there like, are you sure?
Led to a lot of things. It's one of those like it just had to happen for wrestling history at this point.
That's how you can tell Brett's super annoyed. Brett's over the screw job, but not over Goldberg.
I mean,
because him and Shawn reunited. They was friends. Him and Goldberg was never friends.
At least he respected Shawn's work at one point, and Cena. Goldberg's, he does not.
Did y'all see the clip
here's
trending
the
with
thing.
Goldberg or Haku?
Oh
Ming.
my
Is that who it
god.
was? I was trying to figure out who he was wrestling, but it just
Yeah.
looked brutal.
Thank God it was Ming. He already Ming is tough, like the toughest wrestler ever. So
I
what
saw
I'm like,
another one with like him and La Parker, where La Parker cracks him with a chair and Goldberg immediately no sells it on some Hogan shit, where it's like, bro, and then he beats La Parker in like 5 seconds. It's like, really? He just hit you square in the fucking forehead with a chair, and you're just like, no. Like
it's
this
lucky
motherfucker.
we know Ming understood the business because he could have did
God. But he was bringing in that money.
There's a difference though between somebody trying to make me look bad and then someone physically trying to end my career. So I understand Brett. Brett's like, bitch, we're gonna have beef with me. You're gonna have beef with me forever. He's like, it's on site beef when I see you.
Yo,
I'm about to say, Brett might as well be a Latino because we just take that beef to the fucking grave, and even then we'll fucking Santa Maria that shit.
You sure he not?
He'd be like you could come like.
I mean, Brett loves black women. He probably is like 25%. Like we'll claim him.
Librarians will be mad at you at your funeral. Like at your funeral, if they really didn't resolve anything with you, they will look at your casket and be like, I'm sorry you died, but I always remember. I was like, listen, Game of Thrones is made by Africans because the North remembers. They don't.
Nah, they I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I do know that they are cutthroat.
Yo,
you've never seen Game of Thrones.
The North remembers.
Oh, you know what? Notes that could be content.
I've tried to watch it in the past, so if I will try to watch it again, especially because I think it would just make Letty so happy. So maybe I will try again. But I do. Dylan asked about Tamina. I did read something earlier this week that she quietly retired.
This is like last month.
Yeah, so I do think that's what happened. I also feel like it's one of those things where she's gonna always be a part of the WWE family. I can see her getting a Legends contract, and we hear about how much of a mentor she is backstage and a comforting. She's an OG.
Wasn't she like a full-time mom also?
Yeah,
like, very active, but still like she's Superwoman.
She was the longest tenured at one point. So I'm happy Tamina. I think she had a pretty good run. We got to see a lot more of her pandemic work. Maybe we need to do a little appreciation in one of these if we haven't already. I know we did check out our Tamina spotlight on TWG if you want to learn more about her career, because she has done a lot.
I love when her and Natty won the tag titles, man. I
that was cute. Me too. Just to see her with gold. Yeah. She's funny. Like, I like that we got to see more of her personality. And I think it's the same with Shayna, where I know that and even Nia Jax. I know that they're supposed to be like, I'm so tough. I don't talk because I'm so tough. But it's nice to see their personality. Like, it was nice to see how funny Shayna is. Like,
TikToks. I blame Maxine and them goddamn TikToks, because I follow Maxine on TikTok, and they be trying to make Shayna get on, and Shayna be like, y'all not recording right now. Like, and sometimes she's involved, and then sometimes she's like, why y'all got me on this camera?
And she knows her role in them. Like, she's funny. She has a really good comedic ear. So let's talk about 2019, because Tamina was actually in that match. It was the tag team one for the championships for the very first time. Sasha and Bailey, of course, Carmella and Naomi. I like that tag team. Mandy and Sonia, Liv and Sarah. So this was one of those matches. And I don't want to get too tied up on who should have won, just because we talk about Sasha and Bailey in that scenario a lot. I want to get more into the other spots that were in that match. But this one definitely felt like any tag team could win. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if, maybe not Carmella and Naomi, but there was a case for Mandy and Sonia. There was a case for the Iconics. There was a case for what was the Riot Squad, basically. I think this is when Ruby was injured and they kind of had to, step up. So what did you guys think about this initial match? How did you feel about the titles being contended in an Elimination Chamber match?
Oh, when I saw those belts, I don't think I've gotten that excited. But till that time, since the WWE Championship, the scratch logo one, right after the spinner. So the fact that they were getting championships, the belts look gorgeous. It made me really excited for the match. And like you said, it was so like almost like anybody could win it. And I was very excited for the stories that was going to be told throughout the through the match, but also leading up to it.
This is my personal favorite out of all the women's chamber matches, not just because of who ends up winning it, but because like they actually invested in these teams. You had the Riot Squad, you had the Iconics, you had Nia and Tamina that they heavily invested. Even Carmella and Naomi was thrown together, but they invested time and energy. You saw they came out with coordinated dance moves. Carmella felt the glow to match Naomi's swag and stuff like that. So there was real investment, and then there was a great story told behind, the Boston Hug connection wasn't 100%. This is around the time where Sasha separated her shoulder in that match with Ronda and was working with basically one arm the entire time. So they ended up playing a factor into that match, but then everyone got to shine. Everyone got their shit in. A lot of people really did want the Iconics to win because that was when they were coming around and the fans were really getting behind the stick behind Peyton and Billy and stuff like that. And then just the finish is fucking creative as shit. Like I would not have thought for Sasha to fucking do the bang statement with her goddamn foot and her leg. But that's just like, see, that's why you're the GOAT. Because it's like, I would not have thought, yo, you can do it with this. But it's just the entire story that was told in that. And it's kind of everyone looked good in that. So for me, this is my favorite.
1,000%. How you felt about it, Seindole? The tag team one?
I skipped that one because I wasn't buying the tag teams at the time. So yeah, gotta forgive me. I
like the teams?
Yeah, no. I wasn't feeling none of them. Because I couldn't, okay. So in the interest of fairness, I thought that my thought process with the tag team thing was like it's a consolation prize, because if y'all remember, it was so much discourse about them bitching about one person having one title at this whole time. So to me, they kind of just threw them the tag team belts. Like, all right, shut the fuck up. So in my head, I'm like, y'all just think I'm just gonna get in with the flow of all these tag teams? No, I need to see more from all you bitches, because the only people that were worthy of being tag team in my mind were the Iconics, and then the Iconics. Those are the only people that I was like, they should have been the first ones, in my opinion. I get that you need to put it on somebody more notable, but I was just like the fuck, like who do you think?
Yeah.
We already talked about Watch What Happens in NXT, what they do with made up tag teams. That's why I have the way I feel about just making up tag teams. And because it takes chemistry, it takes time. And mind you, also, the Hardys and Edge and Christian and homeboys, the Dudleys kind of spoiled me a little bit. So I was like, if you ain't rocking like them, you're just gonna have to marinate.
That they are
like
brothers.
You're gonna have to let it simmer and marinate.
I do have similar feelings when it comes to the mismatched tag teams, because it feels lazy at some point. It feels like you just want to bunch as many women together as possible,
because you don't want anybody bitching. But I'm like no.
So
that's not how you
interesting.
do it.
So Seindole, you said the Iconics should be the first one. So you would trade their WrestleMania moment for them being the first inaugural tag team champions.
Yeah, because that still would have meant something to them, because they've literally worked as a tag team together at the bottom, which is back then was developmental. They worked towards that. Either way, no matter how they would have won those tag team titles, even if it was first WrestleMania moment, I'd never take nothing away from that. Because I remember, first of all, me and this one, first Legends watch party ever, I was sitting there and I was like, yes. I was like, they about to walk in there slaying, they're about to win. I already said they were going to win. Remember, I said that.
Yeah.
And then look at what happened. They won. I would never take that moment away from them. But however, should they have been the first ones, and then maybe Sasha and Bailey would have been the ones to put more famous notability on it, because people are more familiar with who they are? 1,000%. Because in the company's eyes, the Iconics were still fresh-eyed at the time. Yeah. If you didn't watch NXT annually, they were still new to you.
It was going to be either or. It was going to be either Sasha and Bailey lost at Mania or gained the titles at Mania. I do like them being the inaugural ones just because of how much they fought for them. and they're kind of a pair. Like, you know, I also at the time, I'm not gonna front, I was rooting for the Iconics because I just thought they were hilarious and I thought they were like a legit tag team. And you know, to your point, Seindole, but I think also you can make the same case for the Riot Squad. Like they were a faction for a long time.
Right.
So you can say like they were a legit tag team as well, and they never was able to kind of get over a hump. Like the Riot Squad was always just there. Like they didn't.
I
win
always
a lot.
felt like with
they were over. They was always present, but they didn't really push through. So I was like, this could be it for them.
What I always felt like with the Riot Squad, I thought they were gonna get the, and I don't want to be upset with that. I thought they were going to get the treatment that the New Day got. Like the New Day, no matter who was in that faction, always got a belt. And then when they had the 2 belt opportunity happen with Raw and SmackDown, I was like, okay, great. Maybe the Riot Squad will have that type of dominance, at least for a little bit. They didn't even give them that.
I just think it came down to Ruby stayed getting injured, and I don't think the company was ever fully invested in Sarah Logan. Like you could tell they were invested in Liv. You could tell they were invested in Liv, but with Ruby just couldn't stay healthy. And then it was kind of like once you start injury after injury, it's kind of like we need you to prove that you can stay healthy.
Moment that she was like, you know, when they would do like that one promo Ruby would do, because she had a lot of singles feuds, Ruby. And then it would be like and then it would be like, damn, she got injured. And it'd be like the steam would like kind of run out, then she would return and out. And it kind of worked best for Liv and Sarah at that time because they had because that's when Liv started growing more because she was sort of in the background, and then she started being able to showcase herself. And this was her first appearance. And now look, you know, she's a former world champion and she's basically Miss Chamber at this point because she's been in the most matches. So I liked Nia and Tamina. I would have been mad if they won either.
Right.
They were really fun. Somebody pointed out the Iconics reaction. It was Dylan when Nia broke the pod. That was a wild. That's what I mean with the spots, because they really get super creative, and then if you have it like the mic'd up, so you just heard just the crash of it all. I really enjoyed.
They were hella entertaining, man. Hella entertaining.
They had a lot of entertaining people at the time. I appreciate that. Like they were entertaining. I thought Heavy Machinery at the time was entertaining. Listen, Heavy Machinery Otis is undefeated and making me laugh so fucking.
Live shows,
live shows.
Just watch him the whole time, and he's just doing stuff. He's dancing.
When he first debuted, he didn't have any personality, and then all of a sudden, you slowly start. He starts chewing gum and doing He starts chewing the gum and starts doing. And like one time, he was smelling in a backstage interview, and I was like, "Who the fuck are you smelling?"
And like fucking rubbing his stomach, like why? You know,
he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Oh yeah, money match." Yeah, it starts. I'm like, "What the?"
Oh my god! So I do want to remind everyone that it is 8:00. Dynamite has started, so make sure you turn that on. And let us know in the chat if there's something huge that we need to be talking about. Oh, okay. Moxley and Cesaro.
Okay. I won't be turning that on. Can we get into 2022 elimination?
Are they facing your guys though?
I'm sorry?
They facing her guys, top guys.
And lose. Because that's how they treat them. That's how they treat my boy and Action Andretti. That's how they treat them all. They just working them boys. I love them. I do adore them. Shout out to them. But I'm starting to see people lose, even though I know that's the name of the game. But they've been in that game way too long.
I feel you. So, okay.
No, I was
you know what I mean. Brian, you get it.
To answer Dylan's question, I think Cassie's pregnant again. So unless it's like non-wrestling, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, and then Billy just had her baby, so
that would have been great timing.
They're making mommies iconic.
Yo, and want to just say something really quick.
Baby fever for sure in WWE.
And I just want to say something really quick. Like I after watching Love in WWE, to hear that doctor tell Bianca it takes a full at least 18 months to come back after being pregnant, I don't ever want to hear no man or woman shit on another person who just had a baby and is coming back to
Right.
wrestle ever again. Like
Mhm.
they that shit belongs in a box. Like 18 months.
Nerve.
And you mean to tell me you don't know if you're coming back to the career you once had?
That's
Wild.
why I was going hard for Brie Bella. I wasn't trying to
Yo,
hear
I wasn't
nobody
trying. Now I'm not trying to hear.
because
Now,
I'm like, and especially I'm like, men, we have no fucking idea.
Shit is
So,
crazy.
it's
I don't
crazy.
want to hear nobody when man, she missed the spider. I like, y'all don't know what she's going through, but that's
So
just
I
leave it
can't get off one more Ronda Rousey joke before we put that to bed
Of
forever.
course.
I still hate that she won the fucking 2022 Royal
Who?
Rumble.
Me
But
too. Me too.
Who?
Ronda, because Ronda came off
Everybody
the
does,
pregnancy
but-
and won the Rumble. That's where
But
I'm like,
you know what the difference is between Ronda and everybody else? Her mouth gets her into trouble because you didn't have Becky. I mean, Becky, granted, she got pissed about a lot of things that were directed towards her. I get that. And then you have a lot of other wrestlers that you don't hear too much from. Ronda takes time out of her busy schedule to go into insulting the craft you were once a part of. I never see nobody literally have one of the best runs of the year, then get online and go, wrestling isn't real. This isn't real. It's not even that serious. But like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. Like, just shut up.
Yeah, because
Learn
there's
to sit in the seat and not complain about your seat. Shut up.
because
Get
it's such
her
a
ass.
thin
That's my
line
issue.
Get her
between
ass.
like selling, like working, like if you want
Yeah.
to be a heel, because like she is a UFC fighter.
I
So
got
you
it.
could
Yeah.
be a dastardly heel and say wrestling's fake. The only thing is like Ronda's not good at her job, so it comes off as her insulting.
And
But
they
if the right wrestler wanted to sell that angle, they could.
And
It's
every
just that
time
Ronda
we
sucks.
recognize her for not good at her job, this is us. WWE fans, platter, Ronda. Here you go. Hello. She still sits there. She's like, fuck the platter. This is how I feel. Shut up.
Yeah, she don't.
Yeah,
That's the
Ronda was
issue.
always like, now I do what I want. It's like, and
Yeah,
look
you
what that
can't-
got
and
you.
you can't do that.
She is Ronda Rousey. I just got to say that too.
And I'm like,
Okay.
get it, baddest woman on the planet, but
All right,
girl.
you were the baddest woman on the planet till you got put to sleep by Amanda Nunes.
Okay. So,
I'm
Seindole,
not saying that to her face, so let's move on.
yeah, I don't want the smoke. I mean, I could probably take her, but I don't want the smoke.
I'm
Nah, I
definitely not
can't
saying that to
take
her
her.
face. She'll sit there and be like, judo chop. And I'll just be like,
Listen, it was nice.
damn it.
It's been real.
Go back to your ranch.
We had so many.
Be
good
like,
It's like,
Mhm.
like
got me an
Justin,
armbar.
he'd be like, he was the best guy around. What about always about wonder what murder? He was the best.
All because I
Go
called you.
back.
All because I called you musty.
Oh my god.
Murder.
Oh my god.
He's the best guy
so
around.
I might have to get that button ready.
You like, let me just
I don't
fix
know,
this
but
real
I
quick.
feel like 3 people might be kicked out. Okay, so Seindole, you wanted to talk about 2022.
Mhm.
Well,
Well, no, 2020.
2020. Okay, so let's get into
Pre-pandemic
2020.
elimination.
Yes, so that
Ooh,
was the one that we
Shayna.
talked about.
That
Shayna
was a
Baszler
Shayna.
dominating. She dominated Asuka, Liv Morgan, Natalia, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan. So this was quickly a time where they were trying to push Sarah Logan. They were, they give you your opportunities. They had her have a couple matches with Charlotte. They had her do a lot more singles matches. They were giving more time to her. What made her different than the other Riot Squad girls. So it was good to see her in this match. And this was for a championship opportunity at WrestleMania 36. So we talked a lot about this match already, but Seindole, why is this one memorable to you? Why did you want to get into it?
Because I was excited to see somebody that wasn't like a stronghold or somebody that wasn't around to finally get an opportunity with, of course, I'm talking about Shayna Baszler, because I was such a fan of her in NXT and she had a great dominant force in NXT. And then it was kind of like, for the first time, they weren't trying to pin Sasha on me. They weren't trying to pin freaking Asuka on me, but it looked like everybody was like we know who we got to take out, and it was Shayna. But Shayna was like, "You think you could take me out? Okay, cute." And then you see the Elimination Chamber, and you wonder why she was like cute. Like you thought you guys all had me cute.
I love that.
Y'all look cute. Like her, and people talk about tag teams. That's why I liked her and I kind of pairing up for a little bit because both of them were like, "Oh, y'all think y'all can stop us? That's cute. That's very cute of you." Like nails up, like
That's the thing about tag teams.
One
though.
can choke you out, and one could literally sit on you and end your close your esophagus. The other one could just choke you out and close your esophagus. So, like,
can I get the one that sits on me?
But see, that's the thing about
where's the
tag
button?
teams.
Jesus
It's not
Christ.
always random.
One more chance.
It's not always so random. Because sometimes
Right.
if there's a story like Nia Jackson Tamina, like, hello, we family through this whole long lineage of the bloodline. We need to
Right.
stop beefing and let's team up. Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler. It was the odd couple tag team, which has always worked in wrestling. But like you said, they look at like, you know what? Who gonna stop us?
Right.
And if you really think about it from a back in the day shoot perspective, well, we're not having success getting singles gold. Let's get tag team titles and let's get this money, because with belts come bonuses. So that's the thing. And and I wish you brought up Carmella and Naomi earlier. I wish they could have really honed in on their relationship, especially because they have similar backgrounds. That's all that makes us a tag team. They both were professional cheerleaders. Why wouldn't we want to see them really hone into that? It's one of the greatest sports. So them bringing that world to WWE and really cooking that tag team, I just felt like they didn't get enough opportunities.
Yeah,
they did a lot with what they
more.
were given,
Yeah.
but if they really invested in that tag team, it could have been a lot. It also, just to mention, because it wasn't just like a random tag team like Natalya and these newbies. I know on the back is for mentorship type reasons, but it's like, okay, that seems random. But we are invested in Carmella and Naomi as individuals. So like putting them together is like, oh, like, because at that point, because Carmella was kind of like hated. She was kind of on the Alexa Bliss tip where people was just like, she's overrated. Why is she? And then I think people like then kind of was like, wait, I think we like Carmella because she did the comedy stuff. Then she kind of became a baby face. So teaming her with Naomi at that time could have been dope. And it was dope. It just was too short-lived.
Yeah, it's always been the problem with the women's tag team division. It's like you throw it haphazardly and then you break them up in like not even 6 months, to where it's just like, how are we supposed to stay invested when you don't stay invested in them? Like, look at the New Day. The New Day have been together for over a decade. Look at the Street Profits. The Street Profits have been together for years. So on and so forth. DIY has crossed paths before, and we've seen them as a tag team for a while. And then with the women, it's like you get 6 months, and then it's like, this ain't working. Next. It's just like, how are we supposed to get invested in this when you're not staying invested in this?
Right. And then it just perpetuates that curse about the titles and how nobody cares. Like, to the point where people were like, retire them. I'm like, damn, like, that's harsh.
But it goes back to what I said, like, and it's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, but it very much gave, okay, you guys are complaining that there's not enough opportunities for the belts. We don't really care, but boom, here you go. And you, at the time, like I said in the beginning, they didn't have that many like established women's tag teams. And even it got to the point where NXT, they literally created a women's Dusty Cup Classic to try and get you involved in tag teams. I felt like NXT had a lot of good tag teams. I loved when it was Zoe Stark and Io Shirai when they were tag teams at one point. I love that they worked together in the ring together. But after that, like besides Toxic Attraction, like who do you really remember dominate NXT with those belts if it wasn't for people like Toxic Attraction? And in the time when they gave it to Katana, when they finally gave it to Kaden and Katana, because the internet was like, why don't you give it to the tag team that's actually there after they had dissolved, Toxic Attraction. After that, it's like you don't remember. it. Like you remember who had it, but you don't remember it. Tag like belts, and I talk about legitimacy on belts. The reason why belts lose their legitimacy is because it's not like how long anybody had it or who gets it, is who is putting the work in with these belts. If you're not doing anything with people who have these belts, it's gonna like it's gonna go. Like it's gonna be like Fizz, okay, great. This person won, Fizz. This person won, Fizz. But if we care about it like the way we cared about it when and I hate going back to them, but I love going back to them at the same time, Sasha and Bailey, because of the way they worked with those belts, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, love that moment. We remember it in our heads. Look how many times we talk about it. But everybody else is just like, yeah, everybody else is just like flash pan.
It's definitely unfortunate too, because it's not just one woman that kind of suffers from that. It's like two at a time.
Yeah.
So then it kind of like ruins the whole division. But let's move to the next chamber, because this one was kind of big, the 2022 one, because there wasn't one in 2021.
Yeah.
And this one was in Saudi Arabia. So you have I love how they have to get creative with their gear, by the way. I didn't remember either. Yo, Brian, remember I was like, there wasn't a chamber this year. I was doing like a year end list or whatever. And he was like, no, remember, like in Saudi Arabia? I was like, Saudi Arabia, Bianca won. Like, what? And I had to like,
yeah, because that was when Bobby couldn't fucking wrestle for undisclosed reason. Brock hijacked the chamber, and that's how we got the damn title.
And but you know what's messed up?
Becky.
There was an Elimination Chamber in 2021.
No, it was a pay-per-view. There wasn't
a pay-per-view. There wasn't a women's one. Yeah, that's what I don't remember.
Yeah. So 2022 it came back. So that's why this was kind of it should have like a lot of momentum, because it was like the first, again, it was in Saudi Arabia. I love how the girls have to get creative with their gear to like cover themselves up. So
I love that. I love.
It's fun. It's fun to see what they come up with. Alexa Bliss was coming back from, she wasn't wrestling a lot at this time, so that was fun. It was Dewdrop's first chamber match. Liv Morgan again was there. Nikki Ash, Rhea Ripley. So there's a lot of like newbies. This was kind of the start of this new era. Bianca and Rhea Ripley shining and stuff like that.
They were trying stuff. I'll give them that. Even though I despise that fucking name Dewdrop. I do too. But they were trying stuff with Dewdrop. They were trying stuff with Nikki ASH. Rhea wasn't mommy yet. She was still in like third rebuild, second rebuild.
I still liked her then.
I
liked her then. Yeah.
I did not see her getting to the heights that she is now, which I'm so happy about. So it's kind of odd to see that that she's in a match like this that she didn't end up winning. But Bianca did win. This is how she got her rematch against Becky. So this was the start of Bianca's journey. This was her her redemption arc and all of that. And it just made her, this is why I hate when fans could rush things with baby faces, because it's all about the journey. Like, we hate that Becky I hate that she came back and won in 6 seconds. But how much more satisfying was Bianca's second title run? Like, it just felt like a good moment. So I love seeing her win this match, especially being such a role model for the girls over there in Saudi Arabia. It was like one of those like really hard, when I rewatched it, because I totally for some reason did not remember that match. I really enjoyed that. Brian, what did you think of it? Did you see Bianca winning for the most part?
This takes me back, because you talk about the journey, and I can remember I always talk about like my daughter's first heartbreak was that SummerSlam. So sitting there with her, like, okay, this was the equivalent of me watching Bret Hart at the Rumble 94. Like, okay, I need my favorite wrestler to get that belt back. And, and it was it was the middle of the day. It was also, like I said, Lita was earlier. I was, fortunate enough to work with her a couple weeks prior at MCW with a quick video project. So, having all this and watching Bianca go out there, and I don't remember the match like so vividly, but I'm almost sure she did a one arm press in that match, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And so it was just like everything. And like you said, just the gear, you know, because it's one thing like, okay, people can complain or, you know, they can get creative with it. And that's the thing that the women have done that's been so incredible. So I really enjoyed the match, but also really enjoyed like, okay, she about to get that belt back. And now
Yeah.
we're gonna get that whole story. Because like you said, Becky was like trolling her. And I do love the fact that she went and tried to get it right back, but couldn't. And
Mhm.
it got you more invested, more invested, more invested. So that, like you said, that title run, which would be well over 400 days, longest reign for that championship belt, it was so much more gratifying than the first one because first one, it was about to get a little stale. A lot of people ain't gonna want to admit that, but that's why, you know, somebody was coming to get the belt back, in my opinion. But we know what happened, or you know, it was getting a little stale. But
Spicy.
this one was because we had to get used to rooting for her, and this is the first time we got a chance because Bianca started her chase in the Thunderdome. So there's a slight disconnect of that emotional connection. But when you're going to the arena and you watching the fans every week, and then because of that energy from the fans on TV is translating back at home, you can't get that off of screens because let's be real, we know there's a couple buttons you can press to make you go cheer the way you want, you know. Shout out to the Ringmaster book. But with Bianca, we saw the fans really get behind her, push her. That made us push for her at home. So when we got in the arenas, it made that WrestleMania moment more beautiful. And that was the thing about the Elimination Chamber that, like, there's times when I'm like, because you mentioned this at the top of the show, like it gets overshadowed by the Royal Rumble. But there are times where it's like, okay, I get it. It's a great last second opportunity, and that was one of those moments.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That
this match is getting really good. I'm sorry.
And the only thing
you didn't want to watch. Sorry, Justin. But she was up. Remember, just a few minutes.
I am not watching. I'm
watching
not sending this.
First of all, come on. It's my
like
guy.
they not your
nerd, so is Seindole.
It's the people that they're in a match with that I'm not.
Mike Bennett wrestling tonight. Well, how about that? I'll tell you. Orange Cassidy versus Mike Bennett.
I told you. Listen, I'll put his wife may be annoying, but put credit on Mike Bennett because he deserve it.
I don't think his wife is annoying.
I think she's
like,
but
I think she don't get the credit she deserves for her contribution to women's wrestling.
Maria Kanellis.
I just hate tweet baiting, and she did a lot of that with that situation. I'm just like, girl, say it with your chest or don't say it at all. Like,
okay,
you have the full ammo. Like, don't let Daniel Bryan's like social media like
yes,
brigade.
She usually does stand on her
saying
shit.
what you want to say.
That's why it was a little disappointing because she usually don't give a fuck.
She was like,
that.
And it was like, we know you talking about Punk, sis. You be talking about Punk. You be talking about Punk to the day you die. But you be like, oh, somebody that once stood up for once they believed in is not going back. Bitch, we know. Because if they called you today and they said we need you at WrestleMania, you be on the first fight back. So let's not act like this. Because you've done it before.
See, this is what happens when you come at Punk. See, and I you know what? I hope he in Philadelphia. Because I just want to see y'all two shake hands. And I want to watch you giving the biggest hug.
I want that to happen so bad.
They gotta shake hands like this because he's got the fuck up the triceps.
See, I didn't go there, Justin. Justin never missed a chance.
Looked at his arm. What do I see?
I'm not speaking to you for the rest of the stream. Anyway,
just had a whole thing about.
I'm gonna kick him out for a little bit, make you feel better.
You know how you see a real one? Because she opened her CM Punk Funko Pop, which means she don't ever plan to resell it. Because that thing is worth like $400, $500, $600.
That's how I feel about my Big E one.
This is not going anywhere. And I was like, gonna not order that action figure with Larry, but I definitely ordered the action figure with Larry.
You ain't ordered the Larry one?
No, not yet. I think it's going in the vault soon. I think it's going to vault. I need to hurry up. I don't know. I think I need to hurry up because I think it's going to vault soon. But I spent so much money on Punk. I bought that. I went and bought that tank top.
Apparently.
He got himself. He didn't even win the Royal Rumble. Then I was like, you know what? To make myself feel better, I ordered the hoodie, and he's not even coming to WrestleMania. So now I don't even know what I'm gonna do with the damn
He
hoodie.
might be
Probably
there.
gonna do some content create. And then Drew pissing me off. So I hope Drew get a match, and I hope that Punk screws him over. And then it only takes 6 months to heal from a tricep. So I'm hoping next Survivor Series, my boy decides he wants to finally go after the guy that prayed for him.
That might be a little soon. I think.
mean, maybe Punk's at WrestleMania. Maybe he has some commentary during
they're gonna
Seth versus
find something for
Drew
him to
and
do.
cost him the title.
Yeah, they're gonna have something for him to do for sure.
Yeah,
You'll
I
get
want
to
to
see
meet him.
Phil.
That's my biggest thing.
I do want to be like there for whatever. When he comes back, it's just gonna be like deafening again.
It is. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love it.
But he definitely wasn't beating them backstage allegations by saying, "Listen, punch your coworkers in the
I
face."
know.
I was like, "My guy." I was like, "Sir,
you really gonna say that?"
He was like, "Punch him," and then Biggie's like, "I'm here because we don't want Punk to get fired again." I was like, "The both of y'all."
And shout out to the homie Andreas Hale and Cal Dansby. I was listening to that show and they had a little bit of insight on that, and they was like, "Nah, straight shoot."
He was like,
I can so see
Punk
that.
said, "Well, I signed the NDA for one thing. I didn't sign the NDA for the other thing."
Right.
So
He gonna say whatever he wants because he can't wrestle, so he gonna overcompensate on the mic. Like I'm gonna go viral. Y'all gonna remember what the fuck. I say yes, Rakashi. We want Seindole to meet CM Punk one day. So shall we? It will. It definitely will. How do we feel about getting into 2023?
One last thing on the 2022 Elimination Chamber, because I just remembered it because we went on this long ass fucking Phil tangent. Usually WB, we always like wait and you gotta wait till see how things play out and stuff like that. And as wrestling fans, we're very impatient. I'm glad for that specific feud with Bianca and Becky, they let us wait and watch it play out, because what people forget about, we always remember 26 seconds. That's fucked up how Bianca lost the title and da-da-da. Yo, Becky put on some of her best work during that title run. She leveled the fuck up in the ring after having that baby. She's putting on banger matches with Sasha. She put on banger matches with Bianca, and Bianca had to work her ass to get back to that WrestleMania spot and go get that title, because some of it, like Brian put it perfect, like we remember the Thunderdome, but then it's also Bianca got fast tracked.
Yeah,
you gotta remember they kind of had her chilling for a while,
and then she had to
then she beats with Bailey, and then she immediately wins the Royal Rumble, and then it's like a fucking rocket to WrestleMania, and then takes that title off of Sasha off the first shot. So we never got to really see Bianca go through adversity until this feud of Becky Lynch, and Becky making her go through every hoop, chamber, Royal Rumble, you name it. Bianca had to literally go through it to claw her way back into that title shot opportunity, and then that WrestleMania 38 match was fucking worth it.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So that's one of those where it's like, I'm glad we got this Elimination Chamber. I'm glad Bianca got this moment to go back after it. But that was one of those, it was like, it would have been cool for Bianca still hold that title, but it was a good thing.
I totally agree with that. I'm happy how it all played out. It helped everyone involved in that story, for sure. And then the next year, Bianca is the one that's champion. So everyone in this chamber match is competing to face her. Carmella, Liv Morgan, yet again. Natalia, Nikki Cross. So this is her second appearance as well. And Raquel Rodriguez. And Asuka. As we know, Asuka ends up winning and facing Bianca Belair in Hollywood. How do we feel about this? I enjoyed it. I think it redeemed itself for me, because I was kind of like on the chamber matches, but I think this one redeemed itself. What do you guys think?
I think Asuka was the right choice for that match, because it was just an amazing testimony to how the Queen Bianca Belair can overcome all. And then remember, keep in fact that we were so used to Bianca having those stand opponents, and this was really like the first time that her and Asuka were kind of trying to demonstrate to everybody they could be good dance partners, and I think they did that pretty well after that Elimination Chamber. I think it was a no-brainer that Asuka was going to win that whole entire thing, because people had not seen a main event or a championship run Asuka in a while before that.
Mhm.
So it was refreshing to see that, but everybody's money was already, I feel like, on her for that Elimination Chamber. So I feel like I still think it was a good Elimination Chamber match in itself.
Me too.
Like a lot of people thought it lost its high octane when it came to the women. And I don't know if I disagree. I don't know if
thought so too.
I don't think I disagree with that, but
like
it was still good.
Kind of like, hit home. I feel like Liv Morgan uses these opportunities to just really show out. And she was in the middle of them. Do you remember when they were trying to make her like the female at Jeff Hardy, where she was just doing like for no like real reason. She was just like climbing on high shit and doing that. So when she's in the chamber, she has that same mentality, and it's just like, oh my God, be careful. But I love the spots in this when they got really creative, especially with Raquel. It was good. It's a goodie.
Yeah, I felt like that was that was an incredible night.
Yeah.
Obviously that's the Sammy the Sammy Roman night, but every match delivered. And this was, part of that string of, it felt like, coming in early in the 2023 Royal Rumble's good. It's like taking us on the road to WrestleMania. And I just thought the women just delivered. And even when it's like, okay, it's kind of obvious who's going to win, but it didn't call for the Shayna spot. So it was so believable. And I thought, we started really seeing Asuka go to this new person that she would ultimately, it would take for her to become in order for her to beat Bianca.
Yeah. No one else could have won. It's because the other thing with Asuka, she has that Sasha thing where it's like, oh, they could have done more. They dropped her. There's that period of where she's just like bland and like in the middle of things. And I felt that way when Shayna steamrolled her at that other chamber, because I'm like, yo, this is Asuka. Like, I get it that Shayna's supposed to squash people, will be dominant, but like, that's Asuka. Like, shouldn't it be a little harder? Like, she shouldn't be on the same level as the other people that she smashed in that match. So seeing Asuka kind of come back as like a singles, someone that we should be afraid of type vibe again to go into Mania was, I loved every minute of that. So that's why I think this is probably up there as one of my favorite ones as far as what it did for the winner. Because it's kind of the same as Rumbles, where like the winner, you get an opportunity. You guys talk about all the time, like Shinsuke and Asuka's Royal Rumble win, and like how, they ended up losing at Mania, and it kind of was like, And it's like Chamber kind of can have that same effect because, what happens after that. But I think Bianca, like Chamber's different because like all the winners were really like, it meant something.
Yep.
Yeah.
In a way. So
I agree.
I'm really excited about I can't wait to get into our predictions for this year's chamber, but I hope it continues on that like momentum.
1000%, y'all. 1000%.
Yeah.
Not to mention the winners of the chamber get like high profile Mania matches. So it's like even if you lose the Mania match, like think of like, all right, so Asuka wins last year's, right? And we've all been waiting for Asuka to get that at the moment because she's also on that Sasha streak of she's winless at WrestleMania. So with her going against Bianca, that made that very 50-50. Whereas anyone else, we would have been like, oh, Bianca's retaining 100%. But now she's going against Asuka. Now it's almost like when Carmelo Hayes went against Ilya Dragunov. Whereas like now you're going against someone that's a completely different style. Let's see if you can hang with this because this person's going to be physical. They're going to be rough. They're going to be aggressive. And they're going to force you into deep waters that I don't think I've ever seen you in before. And so that Bianca-Asuka match is just like... Also, we love Asuka because Asuka can wrestle a fucking broom and get a great match out of it.
She holds back because she would outshine everybody.
And she would legitimately fuck them up.
1000%. I can't remember who said it. And shout out to... I believe it was... Shout out to Wilkins because Wilkins said the same thing. He was like, yo, Asuka. He was like, Asuka versus old school Asuka. Like, old school Asuka would whip new school Asuka's ass. And I'm like, you know what? He's right because literally she's holding back, but we all know why. Because, like, one real kick to the chest, it's a wrap. I'm sorry. Like you have fans calling for her head. Like it was definitely, I feel like she came in at a time where, like what Pat said, they were definitely watering down the women because they didn't want them to overshadow the men. But like there's still a little part of me that's like, no, Oscar, just be Kana, like on the, like when she came back at SummerSlam, I was like, when she came back for SummerSlam with the face, I was like, I need you, if you could just kick hard for me to hear it from the rafters like you used to, I'm satisfied. Like I just need that hard kick back, like not with your the tip of your foot, but her whole like toes used to go in somebody's chest. That's how powerful her kicks used to be.
36 degrees Fahrenheit.
And it got watered down, but with understandable reason.
Yeah,
I say it just like that.
Oh,
so shall we take a break and then we'll get into this year's chamber, our predictions, how we feel about it, you know, how tired we're going to be watching it this weekend.
Y'all could be tired. I'm waiting until I wake up. I have coffee. I'm gonna do a little 5K cardio, and then I'm gonna watch it.
That's my work schedule, so I probably end up getting up. My body probably be like, "Bitch, you get up for work, you get up for chamber."
I could, so I think I might try. I'm gonna try my very, 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 very best.
Yeah.
So let's hear everyone's subscriptions predictions for this weekend's match. Keith, you know what? I'm gonna think about on this on the break. I'm gonna think on this on the break. But yeah, let's take a break and let us know what your predictions are for this week's chamber. Well, let's go through the women's match and also the men's match. So let's hear your reaction.
All right.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, KRISTA B, one half of those wrestling girls, and we hope that you're enjoying this current episode that we have for you. You know, I had to come in here and interject and plug ourselves real quick. We want to tell you about our merch exclusively on foryourwear.com. That's right. For Your Wear has all of those wrestling girls merch that you want and need, not only for yourself, but for your friends, your family, and your loved ones. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have tank tops. So please go over to foryourwear.com to make sure you get those exclusive merch, those exclusive deals, and tell them that TWG sent you.
We're back. We are back. You heard what KRISTA B said. Buy some merch. foryourwear.com, forurwear.com. A lot of your favorite podcasts and wrestlers are on the site. You can support the wrestling club because we all love supporting the wrestling club. And also, I'm so bad remembering names. The wrestling promotion in Uganda, Soft Wrestling, something, yes. But their merch is on foryourwear.com and they're doing a fundraising special on there. So if you didn't see all those matches go viral, but it's this promotion in Uganda and it's a grassroots promotion. There's wrestlers, there's training, there's referees, there's a school, and it's a very vibrant part of their community. And it was about to close. They started a GoFundMe. They reached their donation goal of $10,000. A lot of AEW wrestlers supported the cause and donated a lot of money to it. And it's passionate, wrestling fans that are using it to change their lives. They are pushing for tryouts to be done in that part of their neighborhood so that they can make their dreams come true. So you can support that promotion on foryourwear.com and a lot of other people. So thanks for supporting the show by buying merch. We very, very much appreciate it. So, Keith, Elimination Chamber this Sunday, 5 a.m.
Saturday.
So Friday night.
Listen,
don't forget, Thursday night is the presser.
Yep.
Yes.
11 p.m.
It is gonna be a week of wrestling. We will maybe
who's gonna get bitch slapped next?
Oh man, I've been loving these like pressers and media events. It just adds like so
Probably
much to
Nia Jax the
the
way she be
excitement.
fucking manhandling Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's just gonna go Pia!
Oh,
And wait till I get you in the ring.
Rock and Roman gonna arrive on a jet.
On a jet?
You already know.
I'm
You're
here
gonna
for
have to
it,
catch it.
yo.
I
You're gonna have
mean,
to catch a jet
Roman's
from the
not
nearest
arriving on a jet.
Mexico.
Did you not see that video of him and Heyman where they were talking about Perth and Roman's like, I gotta go? And Heyman's like, oh no, you don't have to go. Roman's like, thank fucking God. I ain't going to that shit. How about
That's
this?
a
You go to
long-ass
Perth
flight.
because Seth and Cody gonna be there for the Grayson Waller effect. Like, you can go, but I'm gonna sit my tribal ass here.
Be with my wife. That's what Roman
So you gonna
was
be like,
He said, I'm
Loving
gonna
it.
be in Hawaii.
I
So they call
can't.
me the bird.
I just
Solo. Handle that.
Did you guys see what Justin did?
Yes.
I didn't. I missed it, but it was a reason that you got the club.
I'm not gonna do it again because
Catch it in the
that's why
replay.
we kicked this out of the club.
I should have used the thumb.
No, you should have not. Stop it.
Oh my god.
Go
Oh
ask
my
for it.
God.
You were on a streak. You've not been kicked out of the club in the last 6
Yo.
ones. Why do we want to mess that
I
up?
feel like the best fan clubs are when we have.
I mean, twice this year. Oh, it would be me that gets kicked out.
We're not even in the first quarter of the year.
We
Well,
not even bottom of the third, and here you are.
Wait till Mania
Got
week.
body on.
Wait till Mania week.
Oh Lord.
Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
It was like I'm allowed to drink again. Oh shit.
Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so let's talk about the men's chamber match really quickly. I know it's about the women, but I am excited to hear your Zalz's takes on it. So we got Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this lineup? Who do you see making a name for themselves in this match?
Ooh.
Because they face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
I see Drew. I see, you know what? I see Bobby going to another level. And I see him repositioning himself as somebody who belongs in the ring. He gonna remind motherfuckers that he belongs in the ring with Roman. Win, lose, or draw. That's what I see.
Right.
I would love that.
So I have Drew winning this, but I have LA Knight showing out, and here's why. Because everyone else is kind of entangled in this shit. You know, Kevin Owens and Logan Paul are entangled with each other. Bobby Lashley has that whole shit with Karrion Kross and AOP, so they may end up costing him.
Oh, he might not even make the match.
Exactly. And Randy Orton, we love Randy. Randy's coming off a very serious back injury. Oh, he's gonna be later on in that match, but I don't really see him. I could see him and Drew being the final two, but LA Knight really needs this because ever since he lost to the Tribal Chief, he's really cooled off considerably. So it's one of those where it's like I could see him being like third to last, but like really going on a run because he really needs this more than anyone else in this match. Like Drew is clicking on all cylinders right now, where the win will just be a formality for Drew because they've kind of been hitting that they're going this way with Seth and Drew, but LA Knight could be the fucking wild card.
Yeah, I think this could be a good moment. Like LA Knight is 100% over. Like it's kind of crazy how over he is, and the fact that he's even in the title picture is something to really take note of because everybody's like, "Oh, he, give him that United States Championship." He went from that to now he's in the ring with Roman type shit. So I think this could really solidify this for him. I think him walking into WrestleMania with the fan base as feverish for him as it is now could be a huge moment. And Seth is one of those people that can make anyone look good.
He really is.
And he can put over that feud if he needed to. But there's another part of me that just feels like, I don't know. I feel like Drew needs this too. because it's kind of like Bailey winning the championship as a babyface, but then when she won it as a heel, it just has so much more. Like now, I feel like maybe I'm being biased because I'm more personally invested in Drew now. So I'm like, I want to see
his
him.
trolling game is elite. I give him props.
It's good shit.
I mean, I wanted to chop him in the throat for what he said about my boy. However, the fact that he literally just got on social media and put up a chlamydia fact sheet, I'm like, all right, listen.
Wait, who has chlamydia?
Check the group chat.
Check the group chat. He's winning the heel game. And in 2024 hasn't even kicked off yet. I give him his flowers for that. Dig that. Know that. Love that. Keep my boy's name out your mouth, though. I really hope he does win this match because it would be stupid to not put the momentum on him. And he's like way past before it was tweening. Now you're just full blown asshole. So you need to be the villain in the narrative for Seth because Seth after he defended Cody. My theory is that you can't even go back to being a heel. Like you automatically ended with the cheers and everything. Everybody loves you, Seth. The people love you at this point. Keep that because Drew needs to be your bad guy going into Mania, and I think it's gonna work out. The match is gonna be good. 10 toes down, and then on top of that, you got homeboy that ain't even cashing his shit yet. So that time clock is running out. So no matter what, we're gonna be at the edge of the seat of the match.
He's
so
got
I
time.
do hope it goes
He's
back
got
to Drew.
till Money in the Bank.
He running. The clock is running, honey. The clock
Money
is
in the
running.
Bank ain't till like June,
The
July.
clock is running. I'm not saying clock running as in expiration date on the briefcase. Clock is running as far as I'm tired of being at the edge of my seat waiting for your ass. Show up. That's what I mean by the time is running.
Sidebar, Drew, keep Phil's name in your mouth. Pause, because you keep talking shit about CM Punk. No. But here's why, Seindole. Because you keep talking shit about CM Punk, it's going to lead to something. It's going to lead to something to where Phil is going to retaliate in some way, shape, or form, whether it's costing you the title at WrestleMania or maybe that tricep injury is not as bad as we think it is. It's going to lead to something. So, because Drew is just talking. You can't be doing this for 6 months. So it's either Punk's not as hurt as we think we are, or he's going to get his comeuppance sooner rather than later. So I kind of want to see where this goes. And I saw that bottom. you ain't slick.
I don't want peace. You want problems always. So
we come in peace here at the fan club in our last 10 minutes.
He's gonna have to kick me out next. Keep playing with me. Keep playing with me.
I just said an angle for Punk and Drew, like, and you decided to choose violence. I don't know why you did that to yourself.
Wow. So yeah.
Okay. So I want to see. I think Drew. I hate it that I'm saying this. Drew or Bobby win. I never thought I'd be rooting for Drew.
Hold on, pause real quick. Ruby Soho cleaning up real nice for this day. I like this angle.
Let me see. Okay. You looking like a snizzy?
She ain't got the dark makeup on. She done dumbed it down. She got that new little lip gloss thing going. Her dress is cute. Her tattoos popping.
New. You gotta
this is going on delay.
He got his suspenders. He got the brown suspenders on. Okay, sir. I need to see where this is going. But go ahead.
I'm so confused.
We watching AEW, and then somebody just pulled up, and I think there's somebody that's here to support Sting, or who's this coming back? Oh, then wait till you see who it is. But continue.
She looks so good. I love her.
Right?
Oh.
She looked good. I'm talking about the dude though. Like, but I gotta catch up on AEW.
Who is this man?
He's a nice
man you on a date with.
He was a part of the Jericho Appreciation Society. With the other one that be chewing his gum way too hard. They were a tag team.
That small anyway.
The one who be yelling like he's a mob assistant.
Oh my god.
Oh, the soprano.
Yeah.
Yo, you are too fucking funny.
That's Gators.
Gators. Shall we get into the women's match?
Yeah, because tag team match is a wash. And
Yeah.
And Rhea's not about to lose that title in her hometown.
Oh, please.
No. It's
No.
cute though. It's cute for them, though.
It's gonna be a
They
fun
need her.
match.
They
I'm
need her to
interested.
look
Yeah, it'll be
strong.
fun. It'll be
They
good. And
need
it's
her.
somebody that can actually, like, she finally has real competition for once. And when I say that, I don't mean star power rise. I mean, like, physically. It was like, it got to the point where they was like, is Rhea going to be in the men's division? Because she was doing so much on that side. But, like, Nia came back and was like, no, I could take you, bitch. I'll fuck you up.
Be like, I'll catch you
hyped.
outside, inside, left side, right side. I'll catch you. I'll catch you
drop up in
anywhere.
this bitch. Like,
Exactly.
out of here.
The hole is healed.
well, I never felt so
That
uncomfortable.
was so bloody. Oh my God. All right, let me cue it up because it looks like we're gonna end on a shot. I gotta be ready.
Yes, somebody put me on mute.
Let's get some order in the court.
Order in the court. Okay, so we got Oz girl Naomi back in the contender for the world championship as we knew she should be. So she's gonna be in the chamber. Becky, Bianca, Raquel somehow is in it, and Liv, our chamber queen. That sounds crazy, but y'all know.
I like that chamber queen.
Chamber queen, good. Okay, cool. So and then we got Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. Like, talk about a.
You better bring that shirt out there.
That shirt is. Oh my God, I love that. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, I might have to get me one. They on sale on the shop.
Yeah, because you know she made roster. You know they about to change her shit, so just hurry up and go get you one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you one. I got you.
I like the diamond. I love the.
You still got the NXT tag on the back, like
I never
no, in the
shirt.
Yeah, so like my Jim said, okay, I say WWE. Okay,
remember it's Fanatics now, so Fanatics does everything. So
right.
all of it's gonna be either WWE Authentic or Fanatics.
Got you.
Shout out to them too for bringing back
those
access
world
weekend.
tickets go on sale tomorrow.
Yeah, shout out to them.
World tickets. That is gonna be.
Y'all be there. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yes,
whatever package gets me to meet Philip Jack Brooks. Whoever, yeah, it's definitely gonna be some world. I'm gonna be there front row and center and be like this with the vlog camera.
Yeah.
But as far as elimination match is concerned, I think it's Becky's the win. Like, I just don't see her losing, especially like we mentioned the book.
Her first one.
Her first one, WrestleMania.
She can't keep a damn secret.
Well, her and Nia, her and Rhea is money, especially because they haven't touched each other yet. But if there ever was a time to pivot and go a different direction or jump the shark, I would love for Bianca to win this one, and we get Bianca versus Rhea WrestleMania, cover lady versus cover lady.
And they got that Triple H Rock parallel careers.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
WrestleMania 40.
I wouldn't want that.
But yeah, the smart money says Becky, but the heart wants Bianca.
I could
win the match.
The interesting thing about this match is outside of Tiffany Stratton, Rhea had, all these women have beef with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
Even Naomi, because if you go back to before her and Sasha left the company, who they first feuded when they won those tag team titles was Rhea and Liv. So there's bad blood there too. And then Rhea's gone through Raquel. Rhea has yet to go through Bianca, but they have history going back to NXT.
No, Brian, no. Because what the hell is this? No. Sorry. I hate to cut you off, but they literally put him grinding. Even though the rest of his interest is fire, but why Danny Garcia? Okay.
You cut me off for a man grinding?
Yeah, because it's like his interest is him doing the, and I'm like, no, Brian, no.
I'm sorry.
Did Justin
You
get frozen?
just
Or
kick,
he
just kick
I
me out the
think
club,
it was a
Patricia.
mix.
No, I just
Oh,
I just did it like that.
Oh, I
I'll
no,
just
you
go
just
like that.
I was like,
you
I
blinked.
was like,
You
I think
I was like,
he is frozen. That
nah.
was good shit. That was good shit.
But I mean, Brian put it perfect. This is Becky's to lose. This goes back a year, going back to I think it was Raw or SmackDown DC, where they had that face off, but they didn't touch, and they've been avoiding each other for over a year.
Mm.
And it's either this is time or the heavy handedness of them saying that it's going to be Becky may set up a swerve. Brian put it perfect because with Charlotte on the men, what is Bianca doing for WrestleMania? You can't leave her off. You can't have her be a healthy scratch. And Bianca Rhea, it could be something similar to WrestleMania 32, where you had a lot of the women in that tag team match, but you put the focal point on Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky, and you send a message to not just the company, but everywhere around the world. Like, these are the women who we'll be basing our future on for the next few years. You're going to get used to Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. These women are going to be in WrestleMania for years to come. And this is something that they can do now on the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania. You could do the same thing with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Have Bianca win it and be like, this is the franchise right here. They're basically your cover girls for 2K24, but now we're going full steam ahead. And Becky's big enough that she can have a match with whoever she wants, and it's still going to draw eyes and draw attention. And maybe that feud starts in Elimination Chamber because it has happened before.
That's true. I can go with either one of those, and they both feel like marquee matches. They're both something that we want to see. And you're right about Becky. She is at that point where she could start up a little feud with somebody else if she wants to, and we're going to be invested in whatever she does at WrestleMania. And we know she's going to be a part of it. So,
Bro, we literally could get Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, because they have history going back to that NXT Women's title, and Becky taking that off of Tiffany.
They could kick that off in Chamber. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen, and the way the E has been doing their storytelling lately, I am all the way here for the long term, the planting the seeds, watching them grow slowly. Liv Morgan's on her revenge tour, so who knows what that even entails. So this could be really good. I will definitely try to be up to watch it. I will at least be live tweeting. I can't promise anything else, but I also will be live tweeting that presser. Is that tomorrow night, you said?
Yep, tomorrow night,
Brian. So yeah, so we'll have some reactions to that as well. It's a very exciting week. We're already in that next PLE. I want to thank everyone who tuned into Fan Club tonight. I apologize for our night off last week, but we came in hot this week just in time for Chamber. Next week, we will celebrate Black wrestling history moments just to close out Black History Month. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to try to wear a shirt of a Black wrestler, which I do have. And if you want to support Black wrestling promotions, go over to Black Wrestling, and also Talk of Champions, Black Wrestling Pod. They are doing a lot of posts celebrating different Black wrestlers, and I've been learning a lot and just different facts out there, and women even that I have not heard about and I'm getting to learn about. So show them some love, because also doing that kind of daily content is not easy, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of research. So definitely go show them some love. I want to also remind everyone that we are doing a virtual book club for Becky Lynch's book in April, the weekend after Mania. Yeah, the weekend after Mania. We'll do it in 2 sessions every 2 weeks. I am going to try to get some special guests to join us. Yes, this is the graphic. So it'll be April 13th and the 27th. It is free. It is open to everyone, but you do need to subscribe to our Patreon. There is a free option to sign up for the book club. You do need to be a patron. We'll discuss some of the main takeaways, some of the revelations in the book. I'm very excited for it. Make sure you pre-order that. New episode of TWG dropping on Monday. Can't wait for you guys to see the special guest that we have on. Then we have WWE Meets Pop Culture dropping this weekend as well. Watch What Happens NXT Tuesday nights before NXT. Buy some merch, foryourword.com. Subscribe to our Patreon and check out the exclusive content. Follow, subscribe. Do it all. And of course, every Wednesday, you can catch me and my crew here for TWG Fan Club, our weekly wrestling fan club. We pick a topic and we go in. Next week, we're celebrating Black wrestlers. If you have a topic that you want to talk about, we are more than happy to take suggestions from our fan club members, especially our VIP. We love getting into it. I think pandemic era might be one that comes up because I think this is a good amount of time after it to kind of look back on it, and I think it's a fun topic. So let me know if you guys are into that one. Again, thank you to my crew for joining me every Wednesday. This is definitely one of my favorite times of the week. Thank you all. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at It's Justin Rich. You can find me here Wednesday nights live on Those Wrestling Girls Twitch channel for TWG Fan Club. Myself and these three beautiful, intelligent, amazing co-hosts of mine. You can catch me Tuesday nights, Twitter Spaces, on Black Wrestling's handle for Turnbuckle Talk, aka The Buckle, with myself, Mimi, and Corey, where we talk all things wrestling. You can catch me from time to time on True Hill Heat Sports and True Hill Heat Wrestling. Both those channels are located on YouTube, where we talk sports, wrestling, and all that fun stuff. We here, we outside, we active. Salute to Elimination Chamber. Salute to everyone in Perth. For y'all that's going to get up at 5 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m. to watch that, I commend you and I salute you.
You can find me at Brian H. Wars on all social media platforms. This week, the week started off with Breaking Through Glass Ceilings, where I talk about why it's LeBron James' fault NBA All-Star Weekend is second or third or fourth to MLB All-Star Weekend.
Ooh.
And then, of course, Wednesday Worldwide, me, Cal, Ben, we talked about CM Punk's usage rate in WWE. We looked at some of the 2K ratings and gave our displeasures with some of them, including Zelina Vega being rated the same thing she was last year, despite having a great year. So we talked about that. And of course, I gave a great detailed explanation why Rikishi and how Rikishi should get involved between the feud with Jay and Jimmy. And tonight on the Wrestling Realm, we're talking about whether or not The Rock is really a part of the bloodline, or is there something fishy about it? I tend to think my high chief is doing good business. I'm just saying.
That's suspicious.
That's weird.
So at Brian H. Waters, all social media platforms, especially my YouTube channel at Brian H. Waters. Make sure you subscribe there. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
You can catch me once again at Honorary Wrestling Girl Seindole. You can catch me on my social media platforms, always at reload.relive, on Instagram, on X, where I give you funny jokes and cause mischief. Reload via film. You can catch me here every Wednesday. Yes, that's it. Every Wednesday with the three best friends. The three best friends that anybody can have on a Wednesday. Before that Wednesday, you can catch me on a Tuesday. You can catch me streaming on all the TWG platforms going forward for Watch What Happens NXT Tuesday. Replays coming up to you, yes, every Friday on my YouTube channel. That's Seindole. This week, I want to thank Mr. Joshua Gersh for being on the channel with me, talking about our mess hall, talking about all things NXT, and we even brought up the fact that we don't know where Braun Breaker's going now that he signed to SmackDown, but we like the redemption arc it gave Mr. Baron Corbin, amongst other things that happened. So just stay tuned to be active. And if you like the content, I am trying to get to on the road to 1,000 on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, it is reload.relive on Instagram. Tell your friends, tell your single black man that my thirst trap come in and friends clothes only. So if you want to be a part of those close friends, you make sure to tell them to add me to that Instagram. Yes, sir.
Love it.
And thank you guys all for the support on Watch what happens NXT. And I'll see all you beautiful, beautiful diva stands next week in the club.
I cannot wait. You know where to find me at Queen3_PR on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Make sure you follow. Subscribe to Those Wrestling Girls. Check out CRISTA and Sound Off every Friday with Christina and Pablo the Don. And we will close it out. And we will see you all next week.
Bye, Diva Stan.